Hey everyone, so this will be a comparison here between the brand new 2022 Amazon Fire HD8 and the HD8 Plus. So the biggest difference is going to be the Plus gives you an extra gigabyte of RAM and it costs $20 more. So here in the US, the non-Plus version is $100. The Plus version is $120, which is for both of those versions, it is $10 more than what they cost for the previous generation, which was from 2020. So they do cost $10 more. The same thing happened with the Fire 7. It went from being $50 up to $60. So these went from 90 to 100 and 110 to 120. Hopefully that makes some sense, and that is for the base 32 gigabytes of storage for both these two. The Plus version only comes in gray. I'll show off the color in just a moment here. Whereas the Plus, you can get black, blue, or pink. I have the blue. They also call the blue denim, and then they call the pink rose. They call the black just black. They don't give it a fancy name. So the big things with these two new generation, or the new generation of both of these, is they of course both have the same processor, which is now a hexa-core processor, which according to Amazon's website is up to 30% faster than the previous generation Fire HD8, which I'll be making a video on here soon as well. And they also have a battery life of up to 13 hours, which is quite high. They even mention TikTok now on their website, which is quite interesting. So again, 32 gigabytes of storage. The Plus version over here gives you 3 gigabytes of RAM. This one will only give you 2, which should mean it should be a little bit better at gaming, as well as a bit better at keeping apps open, or a bunch of apps open at the same time. Other than that, the Plus version gives you a few other things here, with the main one being again the extra gigabyte RAM, and that also gives you wireless charging. Then I'll flip these guys over here. Let's see, I had them upside down, but I will show you the backs of these, and these things are very much fingerprint magnets, so I'm sorry about fingerprints here. The non-Plus version is smooth all across, but both of them do have a little bit of an indent for the smiley face. The Plus version, hopefully y'all can see this in the video, but has a texture to it, which is actually pretty cool, I think. Kind of similar to how for the 2021 HD10, HD10 Plus, they made the HD10 Plus a little bit softer, which is quite different. So this time they just made a texture on it. Alright, then the last spec here is both these can do up to a 1 terabyte micro SD card for expansion. Let's get into the speed test. We're going to use the Silk browser here, which is their browser. Both have been cleared of their histories, as you saw right there. I haven't really done much on here besides try to download Google Play Store, which did not work out at all. But you guys can check out my video on that if you want to hear more about that. Alright, and then one thing I will say, I don't know if you can see this in the video, but the reason on mine, again, it could vary with yours, my Plus is actually a little bit more of a yellowy hue to it than the non-Plus. Which I know in the past people have said, hey, mine is very yellow. Other people are like, mine are very white. So it really seems to vary specific device to device on their color reproduction. It's kind of weird. So these have the same hexa-core processor, which is an upgrade from the 2020 version, which has, I believe, a quad-core processor in it. I don't know why I hit black. I should have hit accept. Alright, so we're just going to do a Google search, or excuse me, a Best Buy search here for Garmin watch. These are 8-inch screens. They are just HD. They are not full HD. If you want a full HD display, you will have to get yourself the HD10, which I do not know, but I'm kind of thinking they'll be coming out with a new HD10 here pretty soon, because it came out the 7, now the 8. Maybe before the end of 2022 we'll have a 10, or in the beginning of 2023 we'll have the HD10. because the HD10 along with the old HD8 are not getting Fire OS 8, it seems. So it actually looks like the Plus is being a little bit faster. Best Buy's website does trip up these budget tablets and even some budget computers a bit. So keep that in mind. This is a bit of a heavier website, a little bit harder of a website for these devices to load in. Next, we'll go to Pokemon.com, which seems to be a little bit easier. And then we will go to and play a little bit of Roblox at the end here. We'll see which one does better. So we'll scroll down. We'll let this try and load in here. So you see this stuff's still loading. Again, this is $100 and $120 device here in the US. These are not expensive devices by any means. I have not actually, even on my own time here, compared this between this and the old version of the HD8, the 2020 version. But this does not really seem that much quicker. It's supposed to be 3% quicker. Again, we'll make a video on that and we'll see if it actually is faster. Well, that time that actually loaded in a little bit faster. Again, these should be pretty much the same on browsing speed. There are no other apps open. But we'll go ahead and keep that open. And then we'll go to Pokemon.com. Again, this is a easier website. These should have no issues with it. For the most part, though, this is loading in a little bit faster. Go ahead and accept these. I don't care. Go ahead and we'll hit the Giratina Pokemon Go. Get rid of the reading view. We'll go ahead here and hit Shadow Mamoswine. Oh boy, look at those guys. I don't know what's happening with the non-plus version there. There we go. Alright, we'll do one more thing. Let's go to the Pokedex here. This is going to bring up two different Pokemon, but let's go ahead and hit the Surprise Me. That's not what I was expecting, but okay. Go ahead and hit one of these. Yeah, for some reason the HD8 Plus, I guess that little bit of RAM might help with a little bit with loading speed. And we'll load that in. Never remember that brings them up big or not. Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and get out of that. We will keep both of those. We'll get rid of them. Alright, now these both have game mode. This again is running on Fire OS 8, just like the new 2022 7s. Which means it has that game mode, which should optimize it for gaming as much as it can, I guess. So this is just, we're just going to do some Roblox here. We're going to start off here with Royal High, which is almost Halloween, so they're doing the Royal Ween. Okay. I'm not sure what setting this will be in. So this has it in just automatic. We will, let's go ahead and we will turn, turn this to manual mode, and we'll keep it halfway. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That way we can keep these even peel here. Even Steven here. That's the word. So let this load in. I am not going to do volume for the fact that Roblox likes to demonetize people for any sort of music that's in their apps. You guys can see the loading speed here. It's definitely not the quickest of things. I do want to mention too, I still do use my Fire 8 from 2020, but mostly for YouTube these days. Alright, so we should be going onto a boat. You can see my beautiful wings there. There we are. That was weird. Alright, so right away I can tell we're going to have to turn this thing down. This game does work on the old generation, the 2020 generation, but in lowest graphics. So let's go ahead and set that to lowest graphics here. Alright, then we'll run. The position I'm in right now is just hard to actually control this thing correctly. Alright, hopefully you guys can still see this okay for the most part. Let's see. Alright, so we get little puffs of smoke or fire from those guys. Waterfall is doing pretty good. It's a little bit laggy at times. So for the most part, this is loading in just fine. It's maybe a little bit slower than it should be. I see there are some little bits of hiccups, but for the most part, I would say this is definitely playable. I always say this, but the HD8 from 2021, the non-plus version, you can't even play the game. It literally kicks you out of the game. Alright, then here we are on the non-plus version. You see it's the blue one here. Turning down the graphics right away. We saw how it did on the plus. And again, we'll let this load in. Again, no volume. Let's see how these do here. By Call Me Bob. You will notice there are going to be some, especially when you're playing games here, you'll notice some fingerprints. Alright, so we got our Bobby and see it's super duper rocky there. And there you guys have it. So the plus version with the extra GB RAM did not kick me from the game. This one will. This one did. Alright, we'll give this one more shot here. So most games are not that graphical. Royal High seems to be a very graphical game here in Roblox. We're still on just low graphics. If I can hit it. Still on. Okay. I was trying to say, we're still in low graphics. Don't know why it was on automatic. I definitely did change it. Brookhaven should be a little bit easier. And this is the non-plus version. Of course, it is nighttime, so it makes it harder for you all to see. But stuff will just kind of, because we're in low graphics, stuff will just pop in, as you're seeing here, like the bridge and everything. It just pops in. But there's no slowdowns, there's none of that happening. I don't know why I picked the wheelchair, I really don't. Not there's anything wrong with wheelchairs, of course. I'm just trying to, I don't want to be insensitive to you guys. So let's go on a bike and crash into a wall. So this is loading in just fine. I'm not going to show it on the HD8 Plus because if this can do it, the Plus can definitely do it. Just again, like most of these budget tablets, you'll have stuff just pop in because you're in low graphics. Alright, I just want to see if that somehow got messed up. Manual graphics lowest. Resume. We're going back into Sunset Island here on Royal High. Just really curious what happened there. Alright, it wouldn't even let me log into the game. So it just kicks you out of it. So this is definitely not able to do Royal High. The other one was. So you guys can let me know what you think. I know this was only a few things we did here. But the Plus is definitely going to be a little bit better. Seemed a little bit faster on web browsing for whatever reason. Then if you're going to do any sort of gaming, it's definitely going to be better. I saw it did not kick us out of the game. This did it twice. Now, I would say 90-95% of Roblox games will work just fine on the non-plus version, but they'll work better on the Plus. And two, extra gigabyte of RAM will keep you more future-proof. You guys let me know what you think. If it was my money, I would buy, for extra $20, buy the Plus version. To me, it's worth it. Like I've said in any of the old generations as well. The 2020 version, as well as the 2021 HD10, HD10 Plus. Get the Plus. It's not much more money. These are still cheap tablets. But that's my opinion. Thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you all have a good one. I'll see y'all next time. Goodbye.